Alright, you ready? Oh yeah. We should make that our intro, like a beer cracking. I wish you could do music and have that. But
if we had a genie, we could.
It'll get taken down.
Can you not just incorporate the oldest to do our... He's old enough. He can be our Jamie.
Okay. If you say so. I still want to build our like studio, but it's so hard because I want to leave it up.
Where?
That's every time I suggest something, you're like, I don't want that there. I don't want that there. So it makes it
where you want to put it is my office.
Yeah.
I know. I only work there once a week, but
the only other place is the garage. But it would be hot.
Live in Florida.
It would be so hot out there in the summer, like.
And during the winter, do you really want to be out there?
Not really. I don't know. The only thing, me and Sam were looking at this. We were looking at the tiny houses, but there was another one. They make storage. Well, I was going to talk about the storage unit ones. It's like a tiny shipping container that they use. It's like half of what you would see on like a semi, and they drywall them and stuff. And yeah. I said that'd be perfect. But the one place I found that sells them, it kind of looked shady, and I was like, is this actually going to show up, or? And also, did they just drop it in your driveway and then you have to move it? I need y'all to put, because I was saying if we put it in the backyard and ran power and stuff to it, and lights and all that, then it would work and we just go out there. But you run into the same thing as a garage, it's going to be hot. So, and if you have a window unit, that's going to be noisy during the podcast. I don't know what the answer is other than doing some kind of temporary thing that we could take down, but that's a pain to set up every week. So I don't know. We got to figure something out this year. Okay. Are we going to do a chug off or no? Not this week because we don't have a beer.
Seriously?
We don't have to.
Give me shiver on the bed early last night.
Oh, yeah. Sam just disappeared last night. Just went to bed. Irish goodbye us in the house. I was like, Sam, are you still here?
I did an Irish goodbye goodnight.
Jesus. Peace. I'm up out of here.
I went to go pee. I saw the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought to myself, it looks so good.
This looks like a great time for me to lay down and go to sleep without saying goodnight to anybody and just being like, I just walked back there. I told our son we were watching the Alabama game, and I said, "Where's your mom?" Because she just got up like she was going to the bathroom. We were just watching it in the living room.
My phone.
Yeah, and
everything.
I went back there honestly because I was like, well, maybe it'd been like 15 minutes.
Down.
I really did. I was like, well, maybe she slipped in the bathroom or something, fell and hit her. She's back there unconscious in the bathroom or something.
Because I fall down all the time.
But it had been 15 minutes, and I was like, where's your mother at? And he's like, oh, I don't know. She went back there.
Because I fall down all the time. You had to come check on me.
I went back there. The lights are off. There's a lamp. One of our lamps is on. And Sam's just in the bed, curled up. Blankets on, under the sheets. I'm like, what is it? What are you asleep? I was like, okay, I guess we're see you in the morning.
I literally saw the bed as I went to go pee. Okay.
But it's
the first half of the Alabama game. I drank a little bit, okay, and then when I saw.
It's just very strange that you didn't go, and I told her this morning, I said, you could have just been like, guys, I'm really tired, I'm just going to go to bed. And I'd have been like, okay, good night, whatever. But it was just so weird. We talked about, you left your phone. It was just, there was an unopened beer where she was sitting, and I was just like, what? Okay. You literally decided that when you got back there. You're just this is good. I'm done.
I saw the bed, and I was like, I'm in for it. I don't get to spend a lot of time in my bed.
Ooh, man. That was a burp.
Oh. I don't get to spend a lot of time in my bed. So when I get a chance to spend it, I'm going for it, and there's no one else in it. No one else in it, I'm for it. I'm just saying.
But
What were you going to talk about?
I was going to talk about my topic, but you got something?
Well, not now. You threw me off.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. If you think about it. Hey, watch your hands. Hands. They're back there, sweetie. I'm so sorry. I'm not providing nicotine on the podcast. We have not talked about this, but I had a note and I wanted to talk about it. Have you ever heard of the WOW signal?
The what?
WOW signal.
I mean, I say wow all the time.
Okay, anyway. This was a signal that, let me see, it was in 1977. Mm-hmm. They received a signal from deep space, and it was at Ohio State University. It's the Big Ear Radio Telescope. They received it's kind of like the movie, I don't know, did you ever see the movie Contact with Jodie Foster? Mm-hmm. Kind of like that, not to that extreme, but it says it was just a strong radio band signal, the exact frequency of neutral hydrogen, a frequency scientists consider logical choice for interstellar transmission. It only lasted 72 seconds, which matched how long a fixed telescope near Big Ear, which is what they call it, would observe a single point in the sky as Earth rotated. The weird thing with this is they could never find it again. So it was just a signal coming from deep space, and on the printout you can see and I've just seen a picture of it. It had where they're detecting stuff, and then it had like a spike, and the guy circled it and wrote "wow" on it, like as they were like, "What is this?" Like caught it and flagged it or whatever, and then they tried to research it, could not find it again. They've looked for years. But it said the signal appeared to originate from the direction of the Sagittarius constellation near the galactic plane, whatever that means. It said that it was extremely narrow band, which is not natural astrophysical noise. So it wasn't. It was something like it was beaming a signal to us, basically. Okay. And then that whole hydrogen frequency thing, which is the ideal thing to send a signal to us. And it says it was too strong to be easily explained by known natural resources. And it had a rise and fall, like I was talking about. So it wasn't just a little blip. I mean, it's a 72-second thing. So the theory, I'm sure you guys know where I'm going with this, is a signal from another species or planet or spaceship or whatever, somewhere way out there. And it said it's unlikely that it was human-made interference due to the frequency and the signal behavior.
I feel like we are doomed.
You think so?
Yes.
I wish we could hear it, but I don't know if it's something that actually. Let me see. Let me look on YouTube real quick and just see. If there's a recording of it. I should have looked at this beforehand. Okay. I guess bring them out here. Why don't you bring some glasses? We're going to do a little chug off here.
We're not doing chug off. Last time I had a chug off, I would have been...
I don't understand how you chug one beer. And Sam can sip on beer. She chugs one. She's like, I gotta sleep. I don't know. These are all, let me see. This is a short. I don't know what this is going to be it or not. No. Sounds like when you used to log into a dial-up internet. And you go, meh, 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 like that. That's kind of creepy. It's just 72 seconds of that, which is weird. I'll show Sam when she gets back. But it's here. I found it. I wanted to play. It almost sounds like like when you used to log into like an internet connection.
What?
You know where we go.
I also have to entertain a 6-year-old.
Listen to this. Listen right here.
I'm sorry.
It's kind of creepy. And if you've ever seen that movie with Jodie Foster, it's like that Contact, where she notices something like that.
Yeah.
But it's got like a code in it and a message and all that stuff they decipher and everything. But in that movie, I don't know if you remember, we've beamed a lot of signals into space, and I think one of the first things that we beamed was in that movie, at least, I don't know if that's true, but it was a Hitler speech that came back, and they said the reason they beamed that because it was one of the first like broadcast TV things or something. I'm like, that's creepy. There was nothing else we could have sent into space.
Not so burping. Sorry.
Why are you burping?
I don't know. I haven't burped in weeks.
Can I have one of those since you went and got them? I mean, jeez. We've been.
I'm not trying to make it noticeable, but.
Okay. I don't want to talk about this, but for just a second. But I'm so tired of coaching 6U flag football. That's all I wanted to say.
So
utterly exhausting.
That's why I'm exhausted.
We do it because we did it with our oldest, and it pays off when they're older, just because they're more used to sport. Like if you put a kid in a sport at 8, 9, 10, they're behind all the kids that have played since they were 5 or 6.
I volunteered to coach, and I was so lucky. Unfortunate. That light is crooked as shit, by the way. Who set that up? You?
I did. I was trying to hurry. I'm so sorry.
I just noticed it. It's so crooked.
Do you want me to fix it?
Yes, I do. It's going to drive me nuts the entire podcast. This is great content, by the way, because it is. There you go. Well, nope. Little that way. Little that way. Nope. That way. That.
It's good enough. You'll be fine. So the other thing I was going to say is when we get the podcast studio, we get a couple lights. We get a couple stands. You get extension cords and run all that stuff.
Okay, anyways, so a few years ago, our oldest didn't have another coach, so I volunteered to be a coach because let's be honest, the way the world treats us women, we don't always get to coach football. Like actual football. I don't get to go out and coach actual tackle football. Like, I know there have been some breakthroughs. There's female refs right now in the NFL, in college football. But, like, we don't always get to coach football. Okay. So, a couple years ago, our oldest, they needed an assistant coach, and I said, I'll do it, because he had already coached.
Wait, let me preface this first. All right. And I don't want to talk about this because it's not a conspiracy thing. We're just talking about our life. But when our oldest was 6, there was another guy that coached, and we just signed him up. And I played football when I was younger, but I was like, he can go play whatever. The guy that was coaching him, I was just talking to him at practice, like one of the first, and I was like, "Oh, did you play football growing up?"
He grew up in Germany,
and he was like, "Yeah, I grew up in Germany. I've never played football. I don't really. I watch it some." And
he watched YouTube videos to figure out how to coach.
Oh, so I was like, "Okay, so I need to help because this is." So, and he was fine. He was like, "Yeah, I mean, if you want to help."
He was a great coach.
Yeah,
I loved him.
He was a nice guy.
Yeah.
So the next year, I was like, "I'll coach," just because some of the stuff he was showing, I'm like, "That's not right. That's not right." So I coached, and this is when they were 7. They were so hyper. I was like, I'll do it when he's older. I can't control 7-year-olds. And that was first time dad, so I was not used to being around that many 7-year-old boys.
Yeah, I've already done field trips and volunteered in classrooms. Like, I was already used to it.
I was just like so wound up after every practice and every game. I said, I can't do it. So the next year, when he was 8, I said, I'm not coaching this year. They were horrible. I'll coach him when he's like 9 or 10. And we just signed him up, but they needed help. So she said, I'll do it. And I was like, knock yourself out. I'll stand on the sideline and cheer and record. And it was the least stressful season I've ever had. It was so nice. I was like, I'm just here. I got my chair. Good job, boys.
You did not sit down in the chair.
No, I paced up and down.
Yeah.
But I'm not the dad that's screaming from the sidelines and stuff.
You weren't the burgundy hoodie guy from last night. He's offsides. Yeah. He fumbled. He dropped the ball.
Some of these parents. All right, I want to get off this because nobody. I don't think people care.
I just want to put it out there that I'm once again my third season coaching.
I got one with the oldest, and we both coached last year.
And if you guys remember from a podcast last year, I beat one of the teams by myself. He had to go over and coach another team, our oldest's team. I beat the cocky guy.
Did you guys win?
He didn't like me.
I don't remember.
He didn't shake my hand at the end of the game. He didn't even tap me.
I don't remember that.
You need to do the good game slap. Well, so some of the adults, and it's so awkward. I don't know what to do. It's one of those like, here, give me your hand. You're like, yeah, good. Oh.
Just shake their hand.
I don't know what to do with the coaches because the coaches have their hands out. They're going to do a tap.
I just shake it. You just shake them.
Well,
that's the easiest thing.
You never know what they're going to do with me.
I would assume they would shake.
I'm not trying to be sexist. I'm not one of those. I'm not a feminist. But like, I never know like if they're going to shake my hand or slap it like good game kind of thing.
I always just shake.
Because I'm a good game like all the way
down.
You
do the kids and then you shake their hand.
Oh, okay. I make sure.
High five the kids and then shake the coaches.
One of them, I would go shake it and he gave me a limp hand.
Let me say this.
Two games ago, he gave me like he did this. He walked up to me and he went.
That's how the dad last night shook my hand that came out there. He gave me he was like one of these and I was like, okay.
What the fuck?
It was a real limp. There was a dad. I want to get off this, but it's if people are interested, we'll talk about it. There was a dad last night that came out because we had a game last night and then one today, and he came out and he was like, "Is there any way my son can get a little bit more playing time?"
Oh Jesus Christ! Oh fuck Almighty!
And the kid's 4, so it's 6U, which is, I mean, everyone plays, but this was a really close game back and forth, and this kid, it's not that he's bad. He's 4, and he's spinning around and dancing and singing. And I said we try to get him in as much as we can, but I said he really doesn't seem like he even cares, and he's having a blast on the sideline because we usually have.
He's playing because we have 3 subs.
Yeah, 2 or 3 at least.
We have the biggest team.
Yeah.
Out of the entire league, so we have 3 subs.
But they're on the sidelines playing tag and running back and forth and pulling each other's belts.
They unplugged the scoreboard last night because the scoreboard plug was base in their tag game, and they bent the fucking plug.
But anyway, I just told him, I said, we'll try to get him in there. But when you're playing, some of these coaches, they don't play their younger kids very much, and it's hard when we have a 4-year-old and 2 5-year-olds who are they're just not that into it yet. And what we've kind of learned is you can't have 2 or 3 of them out there at a time on defense because the other team just scores. So I said we gotta rotate those and just have them one at a time.
I coach the defense because I coach hard. I coach big. I don't care.
Yeah, but I said we have to.
You want to come talk to me after the game? Come talk to me.
We have to put them in on defense because if they're in on offense, the kids they won't even take the ball and run. They just drop it. And I said we can't waste it in a close game like that. But we had a game where they had a bunch of 4 and 5-year-olds.
We gave the ball to everybody,
and I gave it to all the kids. So I just said some games. Everybody's going to get it, and the games like this where it's close and it's a good team, we're kind of giving it to the better 6-year-olds because we do want to try to win the game. But I said we'll try to get him in, and we did today, but we lost in a close game because of that. And I just said, I told Sam, I said they're 6. We need to just chill and not worry so much about winning and just get them the playing time and all that. But it's frustrating. I had to tell our son, because he wants to win and he's competitive, and I said, you've just got to and I had to tell our oldest son this. I said, this is more practice for when you're older.
Yeah.
And just have fun with when you get the ball or when you pull a flag or whatever, to not get super wrapped up in the winning.
So here's the thing: if you're watching us and you have kids that are playing sports, remember, we're the ones that have to, at the end of the day, deliver the end result that we lost.
Because they always ask, like, did we win?
And they're constantly asking us.
Didn't.
They're constantly asking us on the sidelines, "Are we winning?"
They look after every score. They're obsessed with it, and it's good to be competitive.
It is, but just remember, if you want your kid to play, you have to remember, yes, we're going to play them, but when we play them and we lose, it's a little different.
It affects the older kids, and that's part. But we dealt with this even last year when my son was playing. I want to get off this because we're on this for a long time. But my son was playing with the 14U group.
We played him up.
And there was a kid who was either an 8th grader, he's 13 or 14, either an 8th grader or a freshman in high school, and he'd never played any type of flag football before. And every year we've always had one or two kids who have never played. And at that age, I'm like, that's a weird age to get into a sport. And I've seen other posts and stuff about this where parents say, it shouldn't matter that my son just started playing basketball at 8th grade. And I'm like, it's massive when you're playing against kids that have been playing since they were 6, 7, or 8 or whatever.
6, 7.
Yeah. Oh my God. They say that so much.
So I have a rule on my sidelines and on my field. They're not allowed to say that.
All right, let me get into
they run laps if they run it.
Let me get into my other topic. This is another space-related thing. I heard about this and looked into it. It's called the Lost Cosmonaut Conspiracy. Okay? Mm-hmm. So this is a claim that when we were doing the space race back in the 60s, when we were trying to get to the moon and the Soviets were, that the Soviets secretly sent cosmonauts, which are Russian or back then Soviet astronauts. Yeah. They sent some into space and didn't announce it, and the theory is that those people never came back. That they sent them into space with no way of getting them back to see if they would survive.
Sounds very Soviet.
I mean, I heard something about it. I was like, that is crazy.
So, are they still out there?
Potentially, or I don't know if they crashed in they don't. The theory is that there was a few missions. Let me read through this, but it says launch failures were often hidden because they didn't want it to get back to the United States that they were having failures. When rockets exploded, like on the pad or on launch, they didn't really announce it. But there was a couple. This one says 2 Italian amateur radio operators claim to have intercepted SOS calls from orbit, heartbeat signals that slowed and stopped, a woman cosmonaut gasping as her capsule burned up. These recordings became the emotional backbone of the conspiracy. It says there's no independent verification. They couldn't validate this, but because they heard it and talked about it, and that's where the conspiracy started. It says what we know today. A lot of the launch records are incomplete, that don't detail what happened with certain missions, or like how we had like Apollo 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up. And it says there's no evidence of hidden manned space flights, but they believe it happened, and it wouldn't shock me. I think it was America. We sent, I think it was either a dog or a monkey, and I think it was a dog, and we sent them into space.
Seriously?
Just to see if they would survive.
I really thought that was fake.
And they had no way. I think that one's real, and they had no way of getting them back. But this there's a couple different catastrophes that it says Nedeline catastrophe in 1960. It says the rocket explosion killed 100 people on the ground, and these are real ones that did occur. Valentina Bardrenko, cosmonaut, died in a training fire. Death was hidden for years, and I guess it later came out that it did happen. And Vladimir Komarov died when the Soyuz-1 parachute failed, and they covered that up, and then I guess later it came out. So it was just something, I heard something about it and thought it was kind of interesting, because it wouldn't surprise me because of how secretive everything was back then, if they tried to cover something up. But I thought it was kind of a cool little thing that I said, I've never heard of this before.
Okay. Something you never heard of before.
That was a new conspiracy for me. I was like, ooh, new conspiracy. I like it.
Gotta dig a little deeper into it. How about the truck that drove by?
We talked about.
I see. It's on my phone. God damn it.
What was the name? What was the name of it?
Can I not swipe?
No, you'll mess up the whole recording. What was the name of that thing?
ICCM. ICC.
It was a
Hold on.
God, what was that thing called? There was a truck that drove by. It looked like almost like one of the Google.
Look at Google truck.
When they do the street view, when they come through and take pictures and go down your street, like you can go on Google Earth and look through it. But it didn't have. It had one camera in the middle, and it said on the back. It said "Research in progress." What we'll do is I'll put the video in here off of Sam's phone. And Sam recorded it.
I took pictures because it was weird. Because all right, so at a very old house of ours, Google Earth came through. Remember?
Yeah.
In the front.
And they blur. Let's try to blur you out.
Literally. No, they didn't blur me out. If you Google our address at that address,
it's not there now. They redo it every few years.
They redo it, but I have a picture of it.
Okay.
I have a picture of it.
But that's
I literally could say Google me because I'm there. I literally am walking back into our house, and I have an Alabama.
Oh no.
I have an Alabama sweater on. You can see the A, and I'm walking into our house, and they took the picture of me.
Yeah.
Because you don't see my face, so they can use it, right? This is the same thing.
What was the thing that we said that we were talking about Terminator though? What did it say on there? It was Oh
my god, I want my phone so bad.
It was something though that when Sam looked it up, it said it was for
security
and sidewalk.
Cybersecurity. That's what it was. Cybersecurity. But it's for sidewalks. No.
It was very strange.
You don't call yourself cybersecurity.
I'll have to make a short about it.
And then your website says it's to make sidewalks.
It was very strange. So that's the.
We've never seen this before. And even our neighbors saw it, and they saw me take a picture of it because they even thought it was weird.
If we go missing.
I mean, this van, when we post a picture of it, this van had cameras on the front of it, cameras on the top of it, cameras on the back of it, and on the back of it, it said...
I didn't see camera. I saw one pole in the middle with a camera.
No, it had cameras all over it.
Okay. I didn't see all the other cameras.
And he literally took our whole cul-de-sac.
Yeah. Sam's up there with the camera. She's
like, he didn't realize that our neighbors have cars in the cul-de-sac, so he had to back up and do all... So I had plenty of time to take pictures of it. I had pictures of it. But...
It was weird. We'll do a little short about it or something, and I'll post that on TikTok and YouTube. But
we don't need sidewalks.
It was weird, and we'll talk about it in the short. So watch the page because we'll look it up again. I should have pulled it off your phone, but we'll post it.
It said that they're civil engineers doing sidewalks and concrete and stuff like that. I'm like,
It was weird.
It's a really. You know, I'm gonna show the guys.
I have one fall thing I want to show you before we wrap up here.
Can we do a TikTok live tonight?
If you want to, I don't know.
We haven't done a live one.
I thought I saved it. I may not have. Hold on. I got like eight.
Oh! Can I tell you something I learned? May not be 100% true. I don't know. But I learned it on the pirate cruise that I took 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
That the candle that you light or put in your windows, in the front of your windows. So way back, right? I was in St. Augustine, and the guy on the ship said that the reason why they put the candles or the lights in the window, like the single candlestick, right? Warrants or shows that Christ or Jesus is in your house.
Okay.
It's like a religious thing.
Okay.
So you know, like we drive around and we don't see people with Christmas lights off, but they have those in their windows.
Yeah.
There's one like 4 houses down.
Yeah.
That's what they do. They may not decorate
What does
like
that have
we
to do
do.
with pirates?
Doesn't have to do with it. They were given us a history lesson about St. Augustine because
I thought you were going to say it was something to do with pirates.
no, because in St. Augustine with pirates and all were, they didn't have Christmas lights. They didn't have string of lights like we do. But they would. That was how they showed religion.
Okay.
Like
Because they didn't decorate back then.
Don't correct me, guys. Don't come at me.
All right.
But that's just what I heard. If I'm explaining it right, but they would put those in their windows.
Okay.
So that's where that whole like single light in the window thing came from. Was showing that
you were Christian, I guess.
Yes, you were a Christian. That's what it was.
Well,
That you were a Christian.
That makes sense.
That was that was their signal.
I said something earlier, and the youngest was like, "What?" And we were talking about Christmas, and I said Jesus actually wasn't born in December. He was like they believe he was born in the summer, like May or June. I think is what it is.
Well, am I wrong? And the thing where it says that Mary had to find somewhere warm.
But I don't think that's not a thing. They were. I told you they were like they were just. The story is that they were just. Ooh, there you go. There's one from me. That they were just traveling because they were doing a census on the population in the area or whatever. But
So
I saw. Hang on. I saw a video today, and it was a guy throwing out Christmas stuff. And the message was, he said, these are all like pagan idols, and he was throwing out like a Santa and like all this. There was like a little truck that had Santa driving with a Christmas tree, and it was throwing it in the trash. And he's like, "We're getting rid of all of this, and we're no longer celebrating Christmas." And some of the comments were like, "Yes, good." And it said you don't want to have these demonic emblems or idols in your house that are. At some of the comments, people were like, whether it's accurate or not, having a Santa in your house, you're not worshiping Santa. You're celebrating the Christian like Christmas piece of it. But some of the comments were like, there was a lot of people that were like on board with this, and people were saying like, well, yeah, we haven't celebrated Christmas at our house in years. And I was like, that seems strange. Like everybody pretty much celebrates Christmas for the most part, but I was like, okay, I mean, I suppose, but
I can't. I cannot with society right now.
Everything is so controversial.
Can I please take a PTO for 2 years from society because you guys are fucking nuts.
Okay.
Like,
calm down.
Santa is not bad.
Like it's demonic, and I'm like,
you know what's demonic is some of the shit you're teaching your kids.
Oh, okay. All right, let's settle down. This is kind of a short one. We're gonna see if we're gonna talk about doing TikTok live, so we'll probably post that on our
I have
YouTube
seen
if
some,
we record that.
I have seen some of these videos, and they're disturbing. Like,
Oh, okay. Well, let's wrap this puppy up, and we will see you guys next week. Sorry, it's a little bit short, but it's been hectic to
you
say the
ended on
least.
a bad note for me.
Okay, I'm sorry. We'll have a good note. Okay. All right, guys. We will see you next week. Later.